Brendan Burke and the Bethlehem Steel Football Club in great form as of late, and they're trying to defend Goodman Stadium against an in-state foe, Keystone State rivals Penn FC, in a massive Eastern Conference clash. Penn trying to make a late push for the playoffs. Bethlehem, as it stands, in 5th place, looking to make a push for a home playoff game come the postseason. Tyler Terrence along with ex-German pro Devin Kerr. So glad that you could join us for a rainy, albeit we should get it in, Sunday evening in the Lehigh Valley. And we'll take a look at this rivalry between Bethlehem and Penn. The last time that these two teams played was a little more than a month ago, and it was Penn FC who came away with a 3-2 win, and Penn really have not been great since.
It's been terrible, actually. They've only been able to replicate it once since that win, 2 in their last 8 games, and it's got to be better if they want to have an opportunity to get into this postseason. All of the guys around them have done the work, but they really need to close games out. But Bethlehem Steel, on the other hand, they've been able to close them out, and even better. Their only loss in the last 7 games coming to the traveling Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Bob Lilly recently, but outscoring opponents 17-3, getting their outside backs involved, and staying composed defensively.
This is a young Bethlehem side, and as of late, they've been in great form. They've been scoring goals. A lot of different names have been scoring those goals, but with the young side, Devin, comes inconsistency.
It's been ridiculous at certain points in time, but also the part that they've had to deal with the most in that inconsistent run up and down from month to month has been the fact that they've had a lot of rotating pieces, always showing us lineups from a different fashion. But now they have regular guys doing it, guys that are on the Bethlehem Steel, guys from the academy. They don't have as much interaction with Philadelphia Union players that have been loaned down. You've seen that in the results, much more consistent.
Well, Bethlehem and Penn FC right now in 2 very different boats as far as the postseason is concerned, but both trying to make a big push that would certainly help their club moving forward. It's the Bethlehem Steel in great form, Penn FC trying to get back to their winning ways. It's a Keystone rivalry match when we come back.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Hey Union fans, save big this season at Dunkin' Donuts just by joining DD Perks.
Score medium hot or iced coffee for $1 the day of every Union home game when you use on-the-go mobile ordering in the Dunkin' app. Order ahead, skip the wait in store, and go! Enroll in DD Perks today and order your next Dunkin' run on the go.
Dunkin' Donuts, the official coffee of the Philadelphia Union. The Union runs on Dunkin'.
Almost set for kickoff between Bethlehem Steel Football Club and Penn Football Club. Here from Goodman Stadium on the campus of Lehigh University, Tyler Terrence along with former German pro Devin Kerr. Bethlehem have won 4 out of their last 5 games. Penn FC just 1 win in their last 7. And we'll take a look at the starting 11s brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. And starting with Bethlehem, Devin, there's been a lot of different lineups, a lot of different people in a lot of different places, but one thing has remained consistent, and that's the back line for Bethlehem.
Pretty much business as usual. Olivier Bizot has really come into his own over the latter portion of the season. He's got himself 4 assists on the year, but 3 came in the span of 4 games, so that was pretty. Jake McGuire getting the nod in between the pipes. But up top, in order to get a victory, they're going to need Big Ferris, mid-season acquisition, guy who carries a similar body type to Corey Burke. A little bit more technical in support, but still lacking that precision in front of goal, and he's going to be a project player. But if anybody possesses the capability, Brendan Burke, Bethlehem Steel,
And for Penn FC and Raul Vaz, this is a side that really, Devin, if they want to make a push for the playoffs, they're looking for 3 points, and they're going with a side that they believe is going to be able to get the job done. Walter Ramirez, a relatively new signing, is going to have to start out wide.
Penn FC can compete with the best, but they also play down to their competition, and that's why they're sitting where they're at in the playoff race right now. But good victory recently versus Ottawa. But up top, goal-scoring opportunities have to be better for Lucky Kasana. Now, the good news for Penn FC is they've only gone scoreless in one of their previous 14. The problem is that man right there, only 2 goals in the previous 6. And they're going, oh, he scores in 30% of the games. Well, you're looking at a guy who netted 7 goals in the span of 5 games from the run of June to July. So when he gets it going, he is really difficult to slow down.
Bethlehem in their all navy blue kits today. Penn FC in their all whites, as the football lines are down here for Lehigh Valley Mountain Hawk football season, which has already got underway as Bethlehem looking for another big 3 points and to climb up the Eastern Conference table. Penn FC currently sitting in 13th place. If they want to make a push, no better time than the present. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. So glad that you could join us 90 minutes ahead. Good defensive work on the outside immediately. Last time these two teams played, a 3-2 win for Penn FC. 2 goals from Fabian Herbers, 1 from the penalty spot. Brendan Aronson played into space. Aronson, Farris in support. Gets caught with it just for a moment. And it's through Chaluya and out of play, but it'll remain with Bethlehem. Coming off of that very impressive win in Nashville. Bethlehem Steel that was back on August the 25th. And before that, it was 2 wins over Canadian foes in Ottawa Fury FC and TFC 2. And then their last loss in the previous 7 matches against Bob Lilly and the Pittsburgh River Rhinos. Nico Brett at the brace. Chris Nanko had the equalizer, but Brett scoring late in the second half. Pittsburgh very much one of the best defensive sides, not only in the USL, but probably in recent memory in this league. Last time Bob Lilly was able to win a championship with the Rochester Rhinos in 2015, a side that had 19 clean sheets, including the postseason. This Riverhound side probably is going to come very close to that. Mahoney trying to deal with it. Kosana with good pressure. Dennis unable to get there because Brandon Aubrey put in a good challenge. But first threatening move we've seen from Raul Vaz's side. Herbers out to pressure. Walter Ramirez. Kosana got a touch to it. Thought he had an overlapping run. And a goal kick coming for Jake McGuire. McGuire and McCarthy, who have been sharing the honors. McGuire with his 19th appearance of the season. Both have 3 clean sheets to their name, and while this Bethlehem side can certainly put balls in the back of the net, keeping the opposition out for a full 90 minutes hasn't exactly been their forte, but they get the job done nonetheless. Chambers finding Chaluya. Here's Mahoney, just out of the reach of Aronson. And the foul is going to go against Lucky Kosana. And referee for today's match, Lauren Varga. Devin, coming into the season, given the fact that Bethlehem just snuck into the playoffs as an 8 seed a year ago. Ended up getting trounced by the champions in the first round by a score of 4-0 over at Slugger. Did you ever think it was possible for Brendan Burke's side to be vying for a home playoff spot come late September, early October?
Believe it or not, yes. And the reason is they carry plenty of talent. It kind of goes back to what we talked about in the Open, that their inability to put not just a consistent lineup, but consistent players on the field. That's where they get themselves into trouble, but it also benefits them in the grand scheme of things. They do have a bigger picture here within this organization, and they want to make sure that they're consistently gaining experience for each and every one of their players, even if that means at times having loanees from Philadelphia Union come in. It does disrupt kind of the day-to-day flow. You see an early challenge. But over the past month and a half, you've really seen that consistency from a lot of the guys on the pitch themselves. Again, it's been different in the sense of 1-2 players here and there, but it's all the same faces, all the same guys. Guys who have really bought into the system. That is this 4-2-3-1, ever-evolving, dynamic, ball-oriented, possession-style football. James Chambers has something to say about that in that holding midfielder position, getting stuck in early on.
And Chambers, as a result, shown a yellow card here in the 6th minute. So Jambo will have to be careful heading into future challenges. Here's Drew Skundrich, Stanford product, who's been very impressive and has taken a lot of the pressure off of James Chambers as far as the defensive work is concerned. Skundrich has also added his name to the score sheet for Bethlehem, which boasts more than 20 different goal scorers, which I think is probably the most impressive part of this side, is that while it is a revolving door as far as personnel is concerned, it's not a revolving door and everybody's just stepping in, playing 90 minutes and having it on cruise control. Everybody's producing.
Everybody steps up. We referenced Olivier Bizo and the assist machine that he's become on that right side, but Derek Jones started off the year, got a couple goals, bagged those early, then got his opportunity to feature for the Philadelphia Union. We all know what Corey Burke is capable of as he started to achieve success at the next level. And then Anthony Fontana, Marcus Epps, Aiden Apodaca, all of these guys, again, they have this system structured so well that it's kind of a plug-and-play type deal.
Skundrich picking up the second ball. It's actually his initial pass that got deflected. Falls for Aronson. Now it's Olivier Bizo. Long for Herbers. Top of the box. The shot off the post. Marcus Epps striking woodwork in the 7th. Aronson claimed he was tripped up. Some great vision from Fabian Herbers. Epps was left all alone right at the edge of the area.
It's exactly what we're referencing when it comes to this system of the Bethlehem Steel. Marcus Epps, be quite easy for him to just sit and hold, but the winger does well, shifts back into the top of the box. Gets in behind the defense. Loads of space, just tries to pick out that far post. Cannot beat Ramu Pizer.
Chaluya, great determination to stay with it. Chambers gets clipped right at the last by Lucky Kosana. And the word from the referee is a goal kick. Or actually, it looks like it's going to be a corner. Either Chambers or Chaluya could have had a crack at that. A little bit of miscommunication, but good defending from Penn FC nonetheless. And the first corner of the afternoon, and it's in favor of the home side. See that corner is just chewed to bits here at Goodman Stadium. Herbers on the turn. And another corner for Bethlehem. You can understand why Steele would elect to play short. It's not exactly ideal footing to try to whip a ball in. Aronson. The run-up was extremely short, just making sure that he can keep his footing. Looks like your backyard when your dogs get done with it, huh?
Easy, easy now. It's been a long day.
Herbers actually gets it through the defender, Richard Menjivar. Great crowd on hand here at Goodman for this Keystone rivalry match. Aronson again. Into the channel for Ferris. Ferris on the move, cuts it back. Top of the box. Intended for Epps. Probably should have a shot on frame from Herbers. Mistake in the back from Penn FC. Marcus Epps is in, and he buries it. Disastrous mistake for the visitors. And Marcus Epps cleans it up for his own. Bethlehem Steel on the board, 1-0.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Marcus Epps getting down to the nitty-gritty in the middle of the field. Terrible mistake by Penn FC. Gladly picks it up right at the top of the box, off the pressure by Fabian Herbers up top. He's been very active in the early moments, and Marcus Epps just steps in, finds that far post, able to beat Ramu Pizer to get that early goal. It's exactly the start that Bethlehem Steel wants.
Penn trying to respond on the other end. McGuire handles it comfortably. But the pressure from Bethlehem in the opening 10 minutes, Devin, just overwhelming Penn FC. Chaluya trying to slide it across. Penn FC is playing extremely high line. There's about 35 to 40 yards between the last defender and Pizer at the back. And with all the pace that Bethlehem possess, it is a bit odd to see Penn FC in this type of formation. Olivier Pizer, more than encouraging first touch forward. Aronson let it roll through. And it's eventually cleared away. Another corner coming up for Bethlehem.
And the boys in blue have done something interesting to kind of counteract it here. There's regular interchange between number 14, Fabian Herbers, and 20, Marcus Epps, one of which has already ended up a goal, but we've seen them push down into the final third very impressively so far. Penn FC, on the other hand, primarily known as a 4-4-2 type system. Sometimes they'll stack their big boys up top. Last game versus Ottawa, they shifted into this 4-3-3. They've done it in this game as well, but more importantly, they shifted to the left side, exposing the right side of the pitch.
Great work from our crew and our director as well to catch that. The ball was about 3 yards away from where it's supposed to be taken as Pizer punches it away. Ramirez, long sweeping ball ahead. Too much for Paolo Jr. Lucky Kosana actually might have been the better option.
That ball gets put out in front of Kosana, he's in.
Penn FC, like Bethlehem, have had a bit of an up and down season. They had a 6-match unbeaten streak that stretched for about a month's time from June 9th till July 9th. As Bizo gets a touch, he claims last touch came off of a Penn player, but it'll be a corner for the visitors. Tribbett with the header, big collision, and a potential head injury. And it's Prosper Chaluya, who appears to be all right.
Just gets his bell rung as this ball gets served into the box. Big frames going at it. Some interesting extra clickers after the challenge as well between Herbers and Kyle Venter. After just a few years his senior letting him know that Trying to keep the youngster in his place. Fabian wasn't backing down, though.
Skundridge, that's a clever touch. Forces Kosana into a foul. See the sense of urgency from Bethlehem. They know that they're on the front foot and that Penn FC can't exactly figure out what they're throwing at them at the moment. They want to put in as many as possible. They're on the move again. Herbers lets it fly, and it just skips past that far post. And Penn FC have a real problem on their hands.
The second touch by Herbers, very impressive here. Brings it across his body, and that little touch right there gives him the opportunity to continue his run, get outside of Jake Bond. Needs to follow through and maintain his composure when he does get into those situations. Hard to carry your balance when the ball's coming to your left, but just try and put something on frame, challenge the goalkeeper. Another unnecessary turnover for Penn FC as Hello Jr. has now switched side, rotated over to the right. Just tucked in behind Aaron Dennis. Trying to even things out here.
Mahoney, great ball forward. Paizo will be able to get there. Intended for Ferris. Oh, that's electric play from the home side. Ferris has provided a lot of decoy runs for Bethlehem in the early going, but this one was very much intended for him.
Can't draw it up much better than that outside of hitting the back of the net. Good build up from Bethlehem Steel once again. This is an opportunity where when you have the youngsters that are on the pitch, you've got a 1-0 lead, you're at home, you need to continue to apply the pressure, but make sure you get that second goal. Give yourself a comfortable cushion to get out in front and make them do the chasing.
Chambers somehow comes away with it. It has been all Bethlehem for the opening 16.5 minutes. Challenge comes in from Aaron Dennis, Lucky Kosana. Dartmouth product sends it out wide. Aronson nipping at his heels, and it's Olivia Paizo who comes away with it. It's a tantalizing run from Pedro Galvo. Skundridge, dangerous play. Step comes in from Ken Tribbett. Venter. Farnes goes to ground, he gets it right. It was a great idea intended for Aronson. Brendan Aronson, just 17 years of age, made his professional debut in 2017 as a 16-year-old, and has just grown leaps and bounds. Here's Marcus Epps, driving again, looking for number 2. Hit the frame, not exactly sure if it was the crossbar or one of the metal stanchions holding it up. Marcus Epps causing all sorts of issues. And it looks like we do have some blood. Ken Tribbett, who's going to require medical attention.
Just two guys doing battle coming in. Marcus Epps has been so active all game long. Again, shifting over to the right side this time, trying to pick out that far post. Clever little chip. You could see him roll his ankle a touch, though, at the end of it. As he caught a nice little patch of some bent Bermuda getting in here one-on-one. Seen him in open lanes, seen him in traffic. Takes Tribbett to the cleaners. Just not enough. That's difficult to get it up and down from that angle and that distance.
Ken Tribbett, who, of course, used to be a member of the Philadelphia Union organization and spent some time with the Bethlehem Steel. Actually just turned 26 back on August the 25th. '21st minute, Marcus Epps with the lone goal in this one for Bethlehem. Taking advantage of a unforced error, I guess you can call it, from Penn FC. As Bizo clears it away. But Bethlehem starting to sag off with regards to the pressure up front.
Unforced error by Penn FC, but not surprising that Bethlehem Steel is out 1-0. Maybe not necessarily on the opportunity that they were gifted, but they've definitely been the ones on the front foot.
Galval gives it away again. Skundrich. Marcus Epps gets a challenge in. Ball intended for Dennis. Chaluya able to cut it out. And it falls for Pizer.
That's something you can't teach right there, though. The recognition of transitional play coming from Penn FC. You can start to pay attention to it and see what their tendencies are. But when a long ball like that comes across, nice 30, 40-yarder, got to give it to the youngster for just stepping up, recognizing the threat and knocking it out, letting his team reorganize.
Bethlehem asking for an offside call. They're not going to get it. The effort always going high, but not a bad one from Penn FC. And it's Paulo Jr., 29-year-old from Brazil.
This is what Penn FC is going to need. One-on-one capability that is. Paulo Jr. saw him go over to the right as it became dormant offensively for Penn FC, but did a good job. The Brazilian slowly making his way into this game. That's what they're going to need. Again, Lucky Kasana has been quiet as well. Some questionable decision-making by Penn if they've moved forward. Had him open a couple times, but couldn't find him. Put it into space, let him run onto it.
Penn setting up shop defensively. Chambers, a penetrating pass in for Aronson. Lucky Kosana. The first challenge was clean, the second one, not so much. And it's mustard for Lucky.
Unfortunately for Lucky, this is the third time that he's gone to ground here. That's why he's being rewarded. Nice little yellow card. Souvenir. Got to get something when you come to Pennsylvania, right?
A yellow card has been assessed to Penn FC.
That's something that he's used to doing, only his second one on the season. But again, the first one's not bad, it's the follow-up.
Jake McGuire getting serenaded with a happy birthday. Olivier Bizo almost was starting what would have been another threatening Bethlehem move. Penn FC on the move again. Brandon Aubrey beat for pace. And the shot going wide of the birthday boy, Jake McGuire. Aaron Dennis.
Gotta start hanging out with a Forge. Getting birthday wishes a day early. Getting more activity. This time Aaron Dennis coming over to the left. This is what Penn FC needs though. Hasn't been the best of looks from them going forward, but at least they're getting more opportunities now. Aaron Dennis had been stagnant on the right, Paolo Jr. on the left. Jr. came over in support behind Dennis. They had switched into a 4-4-2 of sorts for time. Now back into that 4-3-3 we referenced at the top of the broadcast. But opportunities starting to come. You have to keep them continuously guessing.
Herbers trying to pick out Ferris. Chaluya. Chaluya. Oh, that's a big collision. Chaluya is down, as is a member of Penn FC. It's Bond. Bond still laying prone. Aaron Dennis and company on the move, looking for an equalizer. Dennis for Jaime. And now we're going to have a stoppage. That looked like a nasty collision, Devin.
Both of these guys. One's on the knee, one's on the ankle. An absolute agony. You could hear that all over the pitch. There's no maliciousness in this, but this is just a bruising battle between these two guys going for the ball. Gonna get an exactly look of what we heard. That right there, oh, that's exactly what it is. It's
knee
the extended,
on knee.
Yep, well, it's actually, you can see the extended right foot of Chaluya as well, grabbing the knee of Jake Bond on the follow-through. It's definitely going to leave a mark. Now you just hope both guys are okay. A lot of times this can just be initial stinger, a couple minutes, some special spray. Hey, look at that, right around time of hydration break too.
I'm not going to get you started on that.
Please don't. I'll tell you what though, on the track back, credit to Brandon Aubrey, because even though Penn FC didn't knock it out, they continued. They went into a three-back system. Aubrey tracked back as Penn FC continued to move forward, and they were able to hold up play. Very impressive defensively.
Well, Chaluya appears to be all right. Jake Bond, on the other hand, remains to be seen. 26-year-old from O'Fallon, Missouri. And while we have a moment, we'll take a quick peek at the Eastern Conference table. As you can see, Bethlehem with 3 points would draw level with the Charleston Battery, although Bethlehem has played after today a couple more games than a lot of the Eastern Conference. Nashville, Ottawa, North Carolina, all hovering around that playoff cutoff line, and 3 spaces below North Carolina would be Penn FC. But Tampa Bay coming away with the win over North Carolina FC didn't exactly do them any favors. Jake Bond seems to be jogging it off at the bottom of your screen. Prosper Chaluya looks ready to go. And we'll resume play. Chaluya, Bond back out onto the field. Chambers, Aronson trying to slot it through. Juice Gundrich was making a delayed run, and it sparks a counterattack the other way. Dennis cleared straight into Brandon Aubrey. You saw Prosper Chaluya just trying to bring down Dennis, but ended up going down himself.
Chaluya got lucky. He was trying to counteract on the outside as Brendan Aronson was trying to slot Marcus Epps in behind, who had made the central run. Got caught out of position a bit. That'll happen at times when you do get your outside backs involved going forward, but a good job tracking back. Penn FC's got to release the ball sooner, though. They had a good opportunity. Let Bethlehem Steel close them down.
Walter Ramirez. In for Dennis. Dennis can hit from this range. Aaron Dennis picked that one out. A stunning equalizer from 30 yards out. 1-1.
Penn FC goal scored by number 9, Aaron Dennis. Goal scored in the 32nd minute of play.
You cannot give him a window of opportunity like this. He is too talented. Aaron Dennis does a good job tracking back. They've been much better up top. The three guys rotating to open up space for each other. Dennis just tucks it behind. Lucky Kasana gets a tiny window of opportunity, challenges Jake McGuire, and how exquisite is that from the former Wildcat?
Not the first time we've seen Aaron Dennis do that this season. You can remember back to a game against the Charlotte Independents. He scored a terrific equalizer at the near post into the top corner. Not as emphatic as the goal that you just saw, but Devin, we knew coming into this game that he was a marksman, and if given the opportunity, he would be able to put something special like that together. Villanova product with the equalizer. Right around the half-hour mark. And away we go at 1-1. Marcus Epps looked like it might have hit his hand. Lauren Vargas says play on. Epps, a heavy touch and cleaned up by Kyle Venter.
What's the response going to be from Bethlehem Steel? We've seen them go in waves before. They came out with a boatload of energy, really took the game to Penn FC. Then the thing started to cool down. You could really see them find their form. Penn FC was rotating up top, and I know I've mentioned that a few times, but you have to stress it because as talented as the backline of Bethlehem still is, they are still quite young. Working on getting these guys as much experience as possible. The interchanging play is always a second-guessing game. Just a center back constantly looking over your shoulder, passing players left to right. You've got three up top, there's only four of you. Your head is always on a swivel, trying to figure out exactly where everyone is. So you're worried about what's behind you and what's next to you, not necessarily having the thought process of stepping up at certain points in time. That's exactly what happened. Dennis just dropped back, had a 3-4 yard cushion, took advantage of it.
City Island hecklers making their presence felt. And now it's the Forge returning the favor. Aronson, good work to elude Tribbett, at least for the moment. That's a youngster going up against a seasoned veteran. Bit of a hospital ball from Chiluya. Chambers in for Farris. His touch actually ends up working out. And it goes back for Pizer. Aaron Dennis, the goal scorer for Lucky Kosana. Now it's Jake Bond getting forward from the outside back position. Bond through Epps and Chiluya. Walter Ramirez, good delivery. Bond is there, but he mistimed his jump.
We've got about 14 or 15 consecutive passes here from Penn FC. And something that isn't necessarily always recognized is where this starts from. This starts from the goalkeeper, Pizer. And the ball that's deflected back. Now he couldn't pick it up, and he's smart. The seasoned vet knocks it to the side, puts a bit of air underneath it for Pedro Galval to run underneath it, and then it was just all hands on deck going the other direction. Nice crisp passing, moving into the open lanes. Couldn't finish it off when the ball got served into the box on the trailing run, but that's good stuff from Penn FC.
Chambers, Aronson. Now it's Fabian Herbers. Support in the box. Herbers is trying to pick out Aronson. He had Farris, who would look like had a step on Kyle Venter. Good work from Mahoney. Chambers. Marcus Epps. Now it's Olivier Bizo. Bethlehem recycling the runs in the box. Bizo, great little move towards the byline. Shouts for a handball, not given by Lauren Varga. Gundridge through for Chiluya. Prosper Chiluya takes a deflection off Tribbett. And Devin is up out of his seat right now because he thinks that there should have been an offside flag up.
The linesman puts his flag up. The referee just doesn't acknowledge it. He lets it go over the end line, gives him a goal kick. He waved the linesman off. His flag was in the air.
Do you think that the linesman was right?
100% he was right. If I'm right, the linesman's right. That's offside.
That's ridiculous logic.
That's offside.
Well, I can tell you one person who agrees with you, and that's Raul Vaz.
Former Tampa Bay Rowdy. Heard he's quite the character from a former colleague of his.
Penn FC off and running. Paolo Jr. along for Lucky Kosana. Penn FC go coast to coast. And it's their talisman, Lucky Kosana, who finishes it off. Penn FC, after being down 1-0, now lead 2-1 in the 40th.
A great representation of inexperience by the back line of Bethlehem Steel, but perfect and clinical transition from Penn FC. Starts in the back, go with space, go with speed and precision. Find Lucky Kosana. We talked about him at the top. You got to get the big man up top going. The man from Zimbabwe gets the second for Penn FC and gets himself into double digits for the season.
It's lucky number 10. And Penn FC, who looked like they were being picked apart in the first 20 minutes, and Devin, to be quite honest, they were. But a terrific response. They waited for their opportunity. They got a moment of individual brilliance from Aaron Dennis. And now here's Olivier Bizo trying to provide his own moment of individual brilliance. But out of the reach of Farris yet again. Skundrich ripped down. Bethlehem elect to go quickly. Chambers. Herber's dispossessed. Fabian Herber's dishing out a little bit of Penn FC's own medicine over the past 20 seconds or so. He felt he was fouled, so on cue in real Devin Kerr fashion.
Oh, you saw the red in his eyes. Oh, yep. Yeah. Oh, it was coming. I looked right at you like this is not going to be good. That's just the youth. I think his emotion get the best of him, the German. But track back to the goal. You take a look at it, and again, all the credit in the world to Penn FC, because even if the opportunity is there, you still have to execute. And it was perfect from them. But Olivier Bizo plays in that outside marking back position, drifted all the way over, and he had cemented himself in the middle. Chambers had dropped back as well. And he dove in. He gave his positioning away.
Bond took a deflection. And Penn FC have really grown into this game, and now it's Bethlehem
Here, exclusive
up against the ropes.
From the USL's players and USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content.
Again with the positioning. Good movement right at the top of the box. He's got 5-6 yards just backing up. You got to step up into that space in front of you. You continuously give them the opportunity to have a go. He's gonna. It doesn't catch a deflection, might end up in the back of the net.
Kosana. Well, if there's one man you don't want to let loose.
I use the term big man up top because of his bullish work and his ability to kind of get stuck in and push defenders off the ball. He doesn't carry a boatload of height with him, only standing just over 5'9". There's plenty of height on the back line of Bethlehem Steel for someone to get in front of him. That's exactly what they need to do. No reason he should be able to get a header off.
Farris overzealous in his efforts to win the ball back. Farris trying to bring it down, heavy collision, and the foul is against Penn FC. Kyle Venter obviously not happy about it, as is Ken Tribbett, who is the culprit. And the man who caught the worst end of it is Farris.
Ken Tribbett's pleading his case here, but if I'm in, I'm walking away. I'm getting out of the thought process of the referee. I don't want to end up in the book with a yellow card. He goes in really hard on Farris. He gets the second touch right around Venter as Venter steps up and, oh, right into the knee. Catches in him the abdomen as well.
Tell you what, Ken Tribbett, it's only been 45 minutes. It looks like he's been through the trenches and back. Between that bloody face that he caught about 15 minutes in, a couple of sliding challenges, and a tough challenge later. Well, 4 minutes of stoppage time here in the Lehigh Valley. The response from Penn FC has been brilliant.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. Official time will be kept on the field.
How can Chambers help from the set piece? It'll be Herbers.
That's a difficult one. 28 yards out. Right hash. Wind got it a little.
Your boys barely squeaking by yesterday, huh?
Settle down. There's people in Pennsylvania on the broadcast. They're on my side.
Devin Kerr, an avid Penn State University fan, and his Nittany Lions coming away with a dramatic overtime win over Appalachian State. Seems like James Chambers, whenever Fabian Herbers is on the field or in the starting 11, is second fiddle to Herbers when it comes to set pieces. I mean, you even go back to the last time that these two teams met, it was Herbers who ended up taking the reins from the penalty spot, and even from that sort of set piece where normally it would be Chambers 99 times out of 100.
He's impressive from set pieces. And like you just said, they use him all over. Anytime the referee points to the spot, if he is on the field and alongside Chambers or without Chambers, not that that happens regularly, they have been more apt heading towards the Germans' direction.
Shaluya, broken up by Bonds, kept in play. Shaluya got the nutmeg off, but it's Aaron Dennis who has the last laugh. Dennis trying to bulldoze through James Chambers, but that's not exactly a wall you're going to get through easily. Long for Galval. Delivery wasn't a bad one. Nobody on the back post for Penn FC. Chambers. Big sweeping ball over for Marcus Epps. How good is that? But Epps ushered out a play by Jake Bond. Whenever Chambers winds up like that, it always has the making for something special. And he makes it look easy. That is a 50-yard ball dropped on a dime.
You know it's coming too as a defender, but sometimes you can't stop it, just only hope to contain. Marcus Epps does a good job bringing it down first time outside of his foot, puts it right in front of him, just as it was a standing foot only move. You could see that maybe a bit confused Marcus Epps by the lining on the field because his second touch was so far out in front of him. Kind of looked back at Chambers and said, thanks, mate, but got
Aronson through for Epps, and a very important touch from Venter. Although it's going to be offside, and that's going to bring a close to the first half It started out with Bethlehem throwing left and right jabs for the first 20 minutes. Marcus Epps got a goal, but then a huge response from Aaron Dennis and Lucky Kosana. Dennis struck from 30 yards out. Kosana completed a nifty little counterattack for the visitors, and Penn FC with a 2-1 lead. Devin Kerr, your thoughts?
This is all about passion and pride right now. In-state rivalry coming out early. Bethlehem still very impressive. Could not close out the opportunities that were in front of them, though. They let Penn FC hang around, started to gain some momentum, and they found their form. Rotated the boys up top, frustrated the Bethlehem Steel. Extremely impressed by Penn FC so far.
Well, right now it's Penn FC who's playing like a side that desperately needs 3 points. After Marcus Epps was able to capitalize off a Penn FC mistake, it was a response from Raul Vaz's side. 2-1 is the halftime score as we head to the halftime show. Don't go anywhere.
The heat will wear you out real quick. And we've been through some hot ones. It's very physical. You gotta take care of your body and stay hydrated because every moment matters. That's why I drink Advocare Hydrate. I've got a job to do.
Lehigh Valley's largest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles is Rothrock's pre-owned outlet, serving the Lehigh Valley for over 57 years. Our world-class facility offers premium vehicles, including hundreds of factory-certified pre-owned. Next to new cars and trucks factory-backed and warranted for 100,000 miles. A 125-point certified inspection assures security and peace of mind. And Rothrock pre-owned always means big savings, with vehicles starting at only $2,900. Over 1,000 vehicles in stock and ready to roll. Rothrock, where the cars are.
This is St. Pete Clearwater, home to 35 miles of white sand bliss. But it's more than emerald surf and Gulf breezes. The beach is an attitude. It's the vibe of life, nature, art, music, or whatever brings you joy. Experience the American tropics on Florida's Gulf Coast in St. Pete Clearwater. Love the beach.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Challenge will win a steel jersey.
In-state rivalry between Bethlehem and Penn FC, and boy, is it a good one. 3 goals in the first 45 minutes. It started out with the home side, who were electric for the first 20-25 minutes. They simply could not finish the chances that were granted to them by Penn FC, and the visitors with a massive response after going down 1-0. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. This is one of the last matches of week number 25 in the USL. Let's take a look at what else went on over the weekend. And Charlotte, well, they needed 3 points if they're going to have any chance of heading into the postseason. They got it over Nashville, Tampa Bay with a massive 3 points as well over North Carolina FC. Indy and Richmond, a 1-1 draw at Lucas Oil. And then how about FC Cincinnati, 2-1 victory over Bob Lilly's Pittsburgh River Rhinos. And it was a huge 3 points. And Devin, well, as we take a look at the standings in the Eastern Conference, the bottom half of the standings for Penn FC, FC Cincinnati able to clinch a playoff spot at the top of the Eastern Conference standings. But Penn FC, as we've talked about time and time again, almost ad nauseum at this point, it's 3 points or bust from here on out.
There are a couple of silver linings for Penn FC. Number one, they're going to finish their homestand with 9 straight games to close out the season. So that's going to bode well for them. What also has gone well for them is everyone in front of them has won, so they have to win in order to lay chase. But North Carolina FC dropping 3-0 to the Tampa Bay Rowdies yesterday after Neil Collins got those guys in their act together. But they have to win tonight. There is no tomorrow. Today's a must-win game.
Well, you mentioned that homestand for Penn FC. This is capping off what has been 7 straight road games. They haven't been at FNB since July 9th. We're going to step aside for another moment. We'll take a look at some of the best moments from week number 24 in the United Soccer League. Hope you enjoy it.
send the cross in, and what a goal by USL's leading goal scorer, Thomas Enevelson.
Lancaster, and it's 1-0 to Louisville City.
Rio.
Have not drawn a match as Langsdorff has found the back of the net and leveled the tally in the 79th minute, his 14th goal of the season.
Vega! Tevin Vega!
Shooting.
Goal! Mendiola!
Big launch with the right!
Oh, Steinberger, second opportunity. Welcome to North Carolina FC. Zach Steinberger has tied it at 1. He has Dabo. Big goal. Bingo. Mohamed Dabo.
Cross goal! And the goal by Bustamante. And Fresno may indeed sneak out of here with a point.
Hoffman outside the 18, shot, goal, goal, goal! Looking forward to Hoffman, goal! The brace!
Justin Davis, that's a great goal!
King steps up, creating the turnover, the finish!
Nanko, save made by Pickens, follow save, and a devastating goal by the Bethlehem Steel.
It's in, New York have tied it up, it's 4-4.
Oh, Reedy saves it!
An impressive save! Saved off the line, Lubin!
But it's swatted away by Cohen.
Derek producing a fantastic diving save, and it's Tyler Derrick again, who's had an incredible performance.
Saved by Restrepo! Not once, but twice!
Shot pushed away by Lopez.
Oh, and what a save by Marcin Kowski.
He gives it a strike off Cardoni.
Arduro with the big shot and a great save by Newton.
And a save by Matt Pickens.
Great save as Eric Dick got a hand on it.
Fantastic save there from Laurent.
Unbelievable stuff from week number 24. Some exciting moments in week number 25, and it's not even in the books yet. Penn FC and Bethlehem Steel 2-1 at the half. Aaron Dennis and Lucky Kosana, the goal scorers for the visitors. Marcus Epps with the lone tally for the Bethlehem Steel. And we'll take a look at what else is going on around the United Soccer League. Devin, we mentioned it briefly. FC Cincinnati clinching the first playoff spot in the Eastern Conference and the first playoff spot across the United Soccer League.
It was beyond impressive. They started quite slow, but Bob Lilly had them composed defensively. Alan Koch said, you know what? I'm going to unleash the hounds. Deco Kane on in the 80th minute. Adi gets his first goal for FC Cincinnati. Also picked up a yellow card in the same minute. One of the first guys to do that, I'm sure.
Well, you're always one to quickly point out those who are misbehaving on the field.
Have to.
Because you were that guy.
Absolutely. Now, to be fair, one other thing we have to mention, FC Cincinnati, with that comeback victory, 16 unbeaten, tying Reno's mark earlier this season.
They're certainly cooking at the moment. Alan Koch's side looking to not only clinch a playoff spot, but clinch the #1 overall seed in the Eastern Conference and perhaps even the Shield. Can you imagine a USL Cup final at Nippert in front of more than 30,000? We certainly can. Second half kickoff right around the corner between Penn FC and Bethlehem.
This is St. Pete Clearwater, home to Clearwater Beach, the #1 beach in the U.S. as chosen by travelers on TripAdvisor. It's not just white sand and Gulf breezes. Beach is an attitude. It's the vibe of whatever brings you joy. Experience the American tropics on Florida's Gulf Coast. Visit stpclearwater.com. Love the beach.
Do-it-yourself stores may be fine for garden hoses and 2x4s, but appliances? Those guys may know these washers, but Kleckner & Sons knows these washers, and ranges, and refrigerators, and more. GE and GE Profile appliances are designed to reflect the modern approach to style, with clean lines and a streamlined look for today's kitchens. So for wood screws and wheelbarrows, go ahead, do it yourself, but for the right appliances at the right price, let Kleckner & Sons do it for you.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's orthopedics in action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Almost ready for the second half here from Goodman Stadium in the Lehigh Valley on the campus of Lehigh University. Devin, any balloon you would like made today?
Make me a bicycle clown.
We'll take a look at how the first half went down in just a moment, as these two sides all too familiar with each other geographically and on the pitch. And early on, Devin, it was Marcus Epps striking the woodwork, but he would have the last laugh in just a few minutes. But a great start for Bethlehem.
Saw it 2 or 3 times in the opening 15 minutes, just drifting to that spot right in the middle of the field. He had been rotating from the right to the left. He and Fabian Herbers combining. Terrible giveaway by the back line. They knew it immediately. See Venter right alongside Pedro Galvao. Just turns it over. Marcus Epps says, thank you very much. Easy pickings, 1-0. Go the other direction.
Credit Fabian Herbers with the assist. Marcus Epps, his second goal of the season. However, meet Aaron Dennis.
Yeah, you can't give him this much space. Perfect form and technique. Knee right over the ball. Watch this thing. Doesn't even move. Oh, it's a gift from the gods from that distance.
A 30-yard strike for Aaron Dennis. It was exactly what Penn FC needed. They hadn't mustered up too much up until that point. However, corner kick on one end leads to an electric counterattack on the other, and this is just clinical from the visitors.
Beyond impressive, but right here, Bizo dives in. He cannot do that. James Chambers has already tracked into the middle of the pitch. As you step over, you have to hold form. You have to hold up suit and allow your defensive reinforcements to get behind you. Makes a terrible mistake. Kasana slips in behind, gets his 10th of the season.
Lucky Kosana, as cool as you'd like. Bethlehem torn to shreds on the counterattack. And that would do it for the scoring for the first 45 minutes. So look at the statistics from that first half. And after what was really a sensational start for Bethlehem, it was Penn FC who just grew and grew into the game.
To be fair to Penn FC, the possession was much higher, was approaching the 48-49% mark, but the last 3-4 minutes was all Bethlehem Steel. But you have to give credit to the visiting squad. They came out flat. Didn't have a single answer for Bethlehem Steel, but like a song we've sung many times before, Steel could not convert. Penn FC stayed in it. They stayed strong, got themselves 2 goals, sitting with the lead with 45 minutes to play.
Penn FC, who were able to take care of business at home against Bethlehem back on July 6th. Trying to do the double over their in-state rivals, albeit this time on the road at Goodman. And Devin, if you're Brendan Burke, what's the message to the boys? And I use that term pretty regularly with this Bethlehem side, averaging an age of about 21. James Chambers is by far the oldest player in the starting 11 and on this roster for the Bethlehem Steel. But Brendan Burke can't be happy with the way that his side closed out or finished in the first 20 minutes when they had all those opportunities.
If I was a fly in the wall in that dressing room, I'm sure it's the same message he's actually said to us directly before when we've communicated with Brendan Burke, manager of Bethlehem Steel. Got to close your chances, plain and simple. Early on, they had 3-4 great opportunities to get out in front. And I mentioned that. I said, you know, now's the time. You've got out 1-0. Get the stranglehold on the game. Make Penn FC start to chase. That wasn't the case. They let them hang around. Come the second 45 minutes, continue to impose their will like they did at the start of the first half. And the end, last 3-4 minutes was good. Carry that momentum over. Try and go out and get an early goal.
Bethlehem looking to continue their fine run of form. In their last 7 games, just 1 loss, and that's to Bob Lilly and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Meanwhile, Penn FC, just 1 win in their last 7. One of those wins in the past month and a half or so, coming against Bethlehem, as we mentioned. But most recently, for Raul Vaz's side, it was a 2-0 win against Ottawa Fury, in which Paolo and Aaron Dennis were the goal scorers in the 45th and 80th minute, respectively. Brandon Aronson, just 17 years of age, trying to do his part. Devin, he was on the ball a lot in the first half, but it just seemed like there were a couple of times where he didn't make the best decision. It weren't wrong decisions, but not the best decision.
That goes a couple directions here because he's not used to playing alongside Fabian Herbers, who likes to have the run of play. He wants the ball at his feet, and you could see him wandering around the field, but they give him that luxury. Brendan Aronson needs to show us the composition that we've seen from him in the past. Maintain that consistency. Be exciting. He goes out there, he's done it with the best of them against a lot of different squads. First time we saw him this year, number 10 role versus FC Cincinnati, was very integral to the success early on before his injury. He has no problem playing with the big boys, but he's got to do it. Go out there with some emotion and fire in the second half.
Pump fake there from Aaron Dennis, and now we're officially underway for the second half. 3 goals to be had in the first 45 minutes. What's left in store in the second? Well, you'll just have to wait and find out. Tyler Terrens along with Devin Kerr. Goodman Stadium is the venue. 3 points on the line. Bethlehem with 3 can draw level with the Charleston Battery in 4th place on 45 points. A far cry from where this side was a year ago when they were just perpetually hovering around the cutoff line and eventually sneaking in as the 8th seed, falling to Louisville City FC 4-0 at Slugger, who of course would go on to be the eventual champions. Varys trying to track down the Venter, poor touch. And Venter forced to play it out, and a corner kick coming up for Bethlehem inside the first 50 seconds of the second half. Skips all the way through. Lucky Kosana kind of got caught between trying to play Jake Bont and Paolo. Herbers gets around Bond. Aronson trying to turn. Skundrich, what a save from Pizer. Ball in was absolutely phenomenal. But Bethlehem Steel not realizing that Pizer on his toes and then some. More dangerous play from the home side. Skundrich goes over the top. Chambers offside. Good finish nonetheless.
How about Pizer just seconds ago? Dangerous ball into the back post. Drew Skundrich just quietly makes his way out from that holding midfielder position and picks out that far post. Difficult save from the goalkeeper. It's so hard when you're drifting back to your left side. You see the attacker coming in your direction, and then with cat-like reflexes have to immediately go the other direction. It's just proper training from the goalkeeper.
And it's a high foot. And Paolo offering some apology to Prosper Chiluya. Plenty of contact. So it looks like either Venter or Tribbett brought down Marcus Epps.
It's Kyle Venter continuing his antics. He gets away with one there for sure. The peeling run by Ferris coming around. Caught him off guard.
Aronson touches it along for Bizo. Offside. Aubrey's ball cut out by Venter. Jake Bond. Lucky Kosana, that's a really neat touch. Galvao. And Penn FC will restart. Much more tame opening. 6 or 7 minutes to the half than we saw in the first. Pedro Galvao thought about it. Aubrey's header finding Skundrich, gives it away right to Dennis. Could be a costly mistake. Dennis towards the byline, showing great strength, scoops it over. Lucky Kosana lost his footing.
Drew Skundrich has to be careful in situations like that. Sometimes it's just better to knock it out, breathe a sigh of relief, and regroup. If you're going to bring it down, got to be very certain of your skill set. Make sure you put it right on the top of your boot. That wasn't the case. Turned it over. Decent look for Penn FC. Couldn't close, but it's got to be better from the holding midfielder.
Bizo looking for the big switch. Too much air underneath it. Cut out by Bond. Paolo Jr. Walter Ramirez. Paolo, after a dizzying move on Mahoney.
Hasn't been the best from the Brazilian man so far. Fortunately enough, Aaron Dennis and Lucky Kosana have had something to say about that.
Venter again with what looked like a foul. He's gotten away with 2 or 3 just in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
He doesn't just dive in and pull him from behind. He drags him down as he comes over the top of him. Too bad I didn't have Laurent Varga growing up.
You'd still find a way to get thrown out.
Oh, yeah. Still got my own red card. Keep it as a keepsake.
You have your own?
I never told you the story.
I don't think so.
It's a good one. It's a good one. When I was committed to college, signed my letter of intent. A good friend of mine, his name's Brian Gell, came to me getting departing gifts from all of my family and friends, and he handed me a red card with my name that a permanent marker was on it. And he said, here you go. This way when you get to college, just hand it to the referee right when you walk on the field. You got your own ready for you.
The chant from the Forge now is we want Santee. Ball slotted through. It looked like it was intended for Aronson. And again, it's Kyle Venter in the thick of what could have been a potential foul, but again, it's not called. Although that one was probably the most innocent of the 3 or 4, as it was Aronson taken down.
Based upon the amount of chippiness we saw in the first half, don't be surprised if you see the likes of James Chambers or Drew Skundrich step up and send a message here. Kyle Venter has made himself a little bit overly aggressive for the liking of the Bethlehem Steel fans. The Forge started to get vocally involved and let him know how they feel. And sometimes as a team, you don't need to go in and be extremely negative with your action, but just let him know that you're here and you can go tit for tat. You're more than happy to do so.
And it rocks off of somebody sitting on the Bethlehem Steel bench. Given away poorly by the Bethlehem back line. Dennis. Here's Paolo driving forward. Easy work for McGuire in the end. Aaron Dennis stopped in his tracks. And Skundrich called for the foul.
A guy who's been very active so far this season, especially as of late. It was nice for him because his mother was in town with Santee Morrow, and the Forge may not be far off bringing him on. Ignite some energy in the middle of the pitch. Brendan Aronson just not himself today. Sometimes the magic's not there, and you've kind of seen that.
And as if Devin Kerr's head couldn't get any bigger, Santee Moore getting set to come on. Here's Dennis. Sends it through. Paolo! Just like that, it's 3 for Penn FC. Three different goal scorers for the visitors. And after going down 1-0, they now lead by 2 goals as we approach the hour mark.
The turnovers and counterattacks are what have been dominating this game, and that is very close. Aubrey and Mahoney riding a high line. Cholula steps up, tries to play the trap and pull him offside. Linesman does not agree, lets him go through. As quiet as Paolo Jr. has been, He just silenced the Forge as they jump out to a 2-goal lead.
Just Paolo's second goal of the season, but it certainly came at an opportune time. And Santi Moar, the runner-up for 2017 Rookie of the Year, onto the scene here in the 60th minute. And he replaces Farris, and the substitutions brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Surprised that they didn't take Farris off. Very surprised. Or excuse me, they did take Farris off, and they didn't take Aronson off. He's been very quiet, and Farris maintains that large presence up top. They don't have a lot of size in this squad, so when they get into set piece and corner opportunities, you'd like to have someone up there that can at least try and get on the end of it. But you tuck in Santi Moar alongside Brendan Aronson, gain some confidence from the youngster, maybe get him back on track.
Marcus Epps picking up the error from Penn FC. Can he convert once again? Marcus Epps. And that's excellent defending in the end. Santi Moar linking up with Aronson. Chambers, a little bit of miscommunication between him and Epps as Bizo showing off his athletic capability. Started out as an opportunity for Bethlehem Steel to garner 3 points and put themselves in a position to make a really strong case for a home playoff match. Now just trying to salvage a point against their in-state rivals at home. Moar taken down. Lauren Vargas says play on. Olivier Bizo. Marcus Epps. Chambers. He's going to hit it. And Pizer tips it over the bar. Ramel Pizer has made a couple of outstanding saves in the second half, but none better than the one you just saw.
9 times out of 10, you see the movement that we've seen from Bethlehem Steel. It ends up in the back. Just some individual brilliance from James Chambers. Off the chest, right up over the trailing run from Penn. Outside of the left foot. Not sure that would have tucked just inside the bar. Probably would have hit the woodwork, but another amazing save from Pizer.
Moar's effort denied before it can get to Pizer. And it looks like our first substitution for Raul Vaz is getting set to come on. Moar, a little bit too much on it. Well, just to recap, it was Marcus Epps in the 10th minute, and then 2 goals late in the first half from Aaron Dennis and Lucky Kosana, and most recently Paolo Jr. in the 59th. And the substitute for Raul Vaz is going to be Isaac Osei.
Substitution for Penn
And
FC.
coming off is Paolo Jr., who certainly did his piece, a goal and assist on the afternoon. And here's the most recent scoring development.
Substitution in the 65th
All about the
minute
step
of
by the
play.
outside back from Cholula. Not on the same page as the assistant referee, who let them continue play on. As quiet as Junior was, it's never the worst thing to end up at a score sheet. Rewarded for his efforts, 65 minutes. Again, not the greatest shift, but able to find the back of the net, the most important thing for Raul Voss and his boys.
Varga gets in the way.
Last call for beer. Beer sales ended in the 70th minute.
Already caught in a little bit of trouble. Kosana pokes it away. Isaac Osei, tripped up by Mahoney, knew exactly what he was doing. And Mahoney might have just earned himself a yellow card.
He's got to step in here. You never want to give anything away too close to your goal, but another unnecessary turnover from Bethlehem Steel. Feel like they were hard done by the referee's indecision in the middle of the pitch. As it goes the other direction, just too much space for the substitute, Osei, as it gets out in front of him. One-on-one, touches inside, he's beat with pace, he could be gone. Skundrich trailing in support, but Mahoney just takes him down. It's not the worst decision, I don't mind it.
Walter Ramirez, the Honduran veteran. And the shot ends up coming from Menjivar, comfortable from Maguire. Bizo. Herber's able to keep it. Marcus Epps finding Chambers. Looked like he was taken down by Lucky Kosana. No call from Lauren Varga. And Miguel Jaime making his case to Lauren Varga that should have been a yellow card on Skundrich, but all it is a warning. One dinked over the top. Santi Moore giving chase. He's able to get there. He's beaten Jake Bond. Moore dizzying. And Pizer, another excellent save. Santi Moore, the super sub on the afternoon. Aronson. We'll stay with Bethlehem. But first, we're going to have another substitution And it'll be Chris Nanko coming on and replacing Brendan Aronson.
Second substitution for Bethlehem Steel. Exiting the game is number 63.
And the substitution brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network. Nanko with a handful of goals and assists on the season. And another back couple of substitutions to bring on if you're Brendan Burke and Santi Moore and Chris Nanko.
Substitution in the 70th minute of play.
Just not Brendan Aronson's day. We've seen much more out of the youngster, and I'm sure we'll see greatness in the future from him. Stellar youth career so far, and has already shown a boatload of glimpses at the professional level. Just need to continue with the experience and the growth process.
It's about 20 minutes remaining. Bethlehem got to get going. Penn FC very comfortable with the work they've put in today and the scoreline at the moment. Simple fact is that the visitors have taken advantage of their opportunities given to them. Bethlehem did not when they were dominating play and mustering up chance after chance in the first 20, 25 minutes. Nanko getting his first touch of the afternoon. Santi Moore. Nanko. Chris Nanko. Pizer saved it again.
The Frenchman once again stepping up huge for Penn FC. How many times have we seen him just get into perfect positioning, making a textbook save to stop the push from Bethlehem Steel? Easily 2 or 3 more could be behind him.
Nanko a heavy touch, but Jake Bont couldn't clean his up. More pressure from Bethlehem. The Forge trying to do their part. Santi Moore. Chambers.
Moore catches a nice little joust in the middle as well. Fabian Herbers substituting. Just be motioning to the sideline for a substitute. Either picking up a knock or maybe had a conversation just in passing with his manager Brendan Burke about the possibility of coming off. But just there in our picture, you could see him motioning to the sideline.
Jose getting it down for Kosana. It's tucked into a bit of a more withdrawn role since Jose's come on. Santi Moore gets away from Bond. It's Nanko again. Moore. Herbers. And Neko is offside. And it looks like it's going to be Muhammad coming on.
Second substitution for Penn.
And replacing Lucky Kosana here in the 75th minute.
Lucky Kosana.
23-year-old. As Lucky Kosana able to do his part, and what stands as the game-winning goal.
Sometimes as a marksman, that's all you need is that one window of opportunity. He made the most of his. Bethlehem Steel were able to quiet Lucky for a lot of this match, but seized his opportunity when it presented itself.
Moar, back for Bizo. Olivier Bizo. Neko, great first touch, deflection, and it goes wide. More good stuff from Bethlehem. The final product eludes them for the moment.
Chris Neko trying to decipher exactly why the referee with the whistle here is Pizer decides to move the ball about 15 yards up the pitch. Just 13 minutes and change to go. A little bit of extra time behind that as well.
Pizer's been excellent today. Denied more than a couple of Bethlehem opportunities. Herbers. And it'll be brought back by Lauren Varga. Brendan Burke not happy with the situation. Neko striding forward. Osei met by Brandon Aubrey. Devin approaching the final 10 minutes. Anything Brendan Burke's side can do differently tactical-wise?
We can see them really trying to attack the middle and then explode going outside. Usually it's the reverse.
Epps. Scintillating move. Nanko. Venter out to defend. Nanko whips it in, but nobody home, and Pizer collects.
Their bread and butter has always been the wing play. Really starting centrally and then exploding outside. You can see that a lot of their play has come inside, and because they've tucked themselves in, it's been able to be much easier for Penn FC closing them down. Too congested of an area in the middle of the field, too many players around one centrally located spot. But just like you saw a moment ago, ball gets played down in the channel. As Marcus Epps goes down, they're able to get down there and knock something into the box. There's no trailing runners, but that's where they've had their success. That's how they got their goal in the first half.
And it looks like we're going to have our hydration break here in the 80th minute.
Third and final substitution.
And it's going to be Michi Galina
The game is number 20, Marcus Epps.
coming on and replacing Marcus Epps, who was down just a moment ago. And a good performance from Marcus Epps for the most part, able to get the opening goal for Bethlehem, struck the woodwork as well. And substitutions brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network.
How good was it from Marcus Epps as well?
In the 80th minute of play.
Very active early on. First one rang the far post. This time, gift giving from Galval early on. Epps just steps in, finds that far post. Good touch like Herbers in the pressure that he was applying up top, roaming in that false nine of sorts. But Epps does just turn over his shoulder. Initially gave the thumbs up to the forwards, but kind of gave Brendan Burke excruciating face. Penny for a thought for that man right there. He's got to be frustrated because they had Penn FC on the ropes. And that is not the story that will be written if it remains like this.
Isaac Osei chasing after the ball. Looks like it's just going to go back to Jake McGuire. Minutes plus stoppage time remaining for Bethlehem to try to mount a comeback. 10 minutes separating Penn FC from what would be a massive 3 points on the road against their in-state rivals. Michi Galina getting his first touch of the afternoon. Whips in a good ball. And Kyle Venter was the first one to it.
We referenced the wave of attacks that come from the boys in blue. Now's the time for them to turn it up. It's got to be a higher tempo if they want to get back in this match.
Bizo, nice little move. Finding Galina. The challenge comes in from Muhammad. Corner kick for Bethlehem. Herbers hits it. And it took a deflection.
This looks like Big Ken Tribbett coming in off that deflection when Herbers tried to have a go from distance. Just caught one off the midsection there. Slow to get up. I'm sure the captain will be okay, though. We've seen him involved in much worse. With the challenge in the first half that drew blood. And then this one, the center back just recognizing the threat coming and, oof. Touch of a follow through from Brandon Aubrey.
Pizer, strong fists away. Challenge from Chaluya. No call from Lauren Varga. Bizo's pass is cut out. Skundrich.
Penn FC going to make a final substitution here, but this ball from Drew Skundrich is the right idea. Unfortunately, it comes about 3 seconds too late. This Prosper Chilula is going to end up in the back of the book, and he just lays his team out to dry. can't make mistakes like that in general, yet alone with 6 minutes to play on the clock, down by 2 goals. Got to be quicker in your decision making.
A yellow card has been given to Bethlehem Steel's number 43, Prosper Chaluya. Yellow card given in the 85th minute of play.
Chaluya into Lauren Varga's book. As you see, the first touch just lets him down, and then cleaning out Osei after the fact. And a substitution for Raul Vaz. Una Shaibu, 19-year-old from Ghana, coming on.
Third and final substitution for Penn FC. Exiting the game is number 80, Richard Menjivar.
And it's Shaibu coming on for Menjivar. Shaibu, just 19 years old, from Accra, Ghana. Came up to the Right to Dream Academy.
Entering in his place is
And we'll get about 5 to 8 or 9 minutes
substitution in the 86th minute.
to run around and help Penn FC close out a big 3 points and make it 6 points in a row in the last 2 games. Aubrey, not his best header. And a little bit of gamesmanship here. Bethlehem frustrated. They're thinking that Pedro Galvao is trying to play the game within the game and trying to stop Bethlehem from closing down Walter Ramirez, which they were moments away from doing. Paizo off of Herbers. And a goal kick for Pizer.
Two different players reading 2 different books coming down here. Lack of creativity in the second half has really frustrated the Bethlehem Steel. Not an overly cause for concern in the grand scheme of things for the organization, but expected better out of them. They've had some really solid performances, even in the match versus Pittsburgh. They were able to claw their way back in. They fell short, but really saw the perseverance by the boys in blue. That has not been the case on the other side of the ball. Penn FC has been absolutely brilliant since going down 1-0. Started to rotate their formation a touch. And really the overlapping play, guys constantly interchanging, has caused so much frustration for Bethlehem Steel.
Santi Moar somehow comes away with it. Moar gets the cross away. Galena settles. And it was intended for Jambo. And the fouls against Fabian Herbers on Ken Tribbett. 89th minute, Penn FC, 3 unanswered goals after Bethlehem opened up the scoring. Started with Marcus Epps in the 10th minute. And then 32nd and 40th minute goals from Aaron Dennis and Lucky Kosana. And then it was Paolo Jr. in the second half in the 59th, which really made it an uphill climb for Bethlehem. It was much more manageable. But it was another mistake at the back, an unforced error. Very similar to how Bethlehem were able to get their first goal and only goal of the game if the result is to hold. Here's Muhammad. Aubrey bulldozed over. Lauren Vargas says play on. Bethlehem's got the ball. And after they play the advantage, Bethlehem squander the possession. Bizo. Well, that's excellent work to get away from Ramirez. Still Olivier Bizo. Sliding through, Bizo. Nanko. Deflection, Santimar might have had an avenue over on that left wing. Corner kick coming up for Bethlehem. Oh, Aaron Dennis might have deserved a yellow card after his challenge against Brandon Albury, just bulldozing over him in the middle of the park.
Is going to assist the Penn FC's number 9, Aaron Dennis.
And right on cue, Aaron Dennis shown mustard.
And the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 6 minutes
of stoppage.
Time. Official time will be kept on the field.
Michi Galena. There's Moar. He pulled it wide.
Been that kind of day, hasn't it? You can see the look on Santimara's face. And just Michi Galena turning on the Jets here. And it's the one-on-one against Galval. Great ball back. How about the clever flick from Brandon Albury? That's a center back, ladies and gentlemen. Stepping in right here. Whoop. Thank you. Just a bit outside, Santi.
Isaac Ose, fouled by Chaluya. Shouts from both ends. Capital City crew as well as the Forge. Osei still down and claims he requires medical attention, but when it's stoppage time and it looks like a pretty innocuous foul. Aaron Dennis, Santi Moar getting into it.
Ken Tribbett's going to play Switzerland. See if he can figure things out. United Nations of Pennsylvania. I mean, that's the theatrics are.
We have seen so much of this year.
Yeah, it's out of hand.
And if he pops up and starts sprinting around in the next 30 seconds, it should be a yellow card from Lauren Varga.
100% agreed. There's just no room for that in the game.
There's no room for it.
None whatsoever. What there is room for Penn FC is growth into this playoff race, because they're most assuredly going to pick up 3 points, barring a miraculous comeback here. And they're going to have that 9-game homestand that we've talked about, and it's going to start off pretty user-friendly. Atlanta United 2, Martin Rennie, Indy 11, Golden Boot Race. Forward, Daniel Rios of North Carolina FC. And then the big boys come into play. They're going to have to take on Lou City, FC Cincinnati, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Those are 3 out of the top 4 right there. Doesn't really get much easier behind that. Mike Jeffries, Charlotte Independence coming off a great victory. John Wolyniak, New York Red Bull 2, all of which coming to FNB Field. And to top it all off, things will definitely die down in the last match, though we'll have playoff implications. Toronto FC 2.
Isaac Osei still receiving medical attention. And Penn FC will have to play down a man.
Gonna need some sort of urgency from Bethlehem Steel. Couple minutes left, especially after that stoppage. Expect right around 3.5, so time's ticking away.
Offside flag goes up. Frustrating for Santi Morrison's coming on because he really has done well when he's on the ball, but the finishing product has not been his friend. He's had a couple of great opportunities. One of them was saved by Romuald Pizer. The other yanked wide after the brilliant flick from Brandon Aubrey. There will surely be more than 6 minutes added on after Isaac Osei went down and is still down. Skundrich trying to keep it in play. He's able to do so. And it'll be a goal kick, much to the dismay of Drew Skundrich.
That's close.
Did that go out?
That's close. Yeah, well, it's the yellow line, not the white one. Remember that. We'll get there. It's been a long day, buddy. It's been a long day.
I feel like Isaac Osei right now. Michi Galena. Nobody's stepping to him just yet. Skundrich directing traffic. Bizo. And Pizer claims it to be his own. That yellow line is impossible to see. There's a look at Isaac Osei, and obviously it appears to be something a little bit more serious. Bizo's pass cut out. Plenty of space for Penn FC. Muhammad sprays it forward. Aaron Dennis looking for number 2. Muhammad on the first time. Blocked by Brandon Aubrey. Penn looking for the final whistle, but with Isaac Osei going down, they're not going to find it just yet. Credit to Romuald Pizer, who really you could make an argument as man of the match for Penn FC. Full time. Penn FC get the better of Bethlehem once again, and this time it's at Goodman Stadium. After going up 1-0, Lucky Kosana, Aaron Dennis, and Paolo Jr. 3 unanswered goals. It's Kosana's 10th of the season. Aaron Dennis with a surefire goal of the week nominee. And Penn FC with a massive 3 points. It's now 2 wins in a row after their 2-0 win against the Ottawa Fury. Devin Kerr, your thoughts?
His counterpart on the other side of the field, Ramu Pizer, made save after save after save, and not only threw his name into the hat for save of the week, but goalkeeper after the week. With that performance, absolutely amazing from the Frenchman. Brendan Burke and the boys in blue are going to have to go back to the drawing board as they have some work to do coming down the stretch. Other teams have games in hand. They have plenty of talent on the field, but you have to make the most of your opportunities when they present themselves. With the first 20, 25 minutes of this match, they only put one in the back of the net. Wasn't enough.
It's just the second loss in the last 8 matches for the Bethlehem Steel, but boy, what is it a big one. Penn FC, a 3-1 win on the road at Goodman Stadium. We'll be back in a moment with postgame. Full time from the Lehigh Valley. Lucky Kosana signing some autographs for some lucky fans. As the agent 077 able to get his 10th of the season. And the Penn Football Club with some bark and some bite as the Bethlehem Steel got off to a good start. Devin, Fabian Herbers finding Marcus Epps. 1-0, but that would be the end of the Bethlehem scoring on the day.
It was impressive from the triumvirate up top of Bethlehem Steel in the early moments of the game, but again, they were only able to get one out of all those opportunities that came into effect. Aaron Dennis says, you know what? 23 yards out, don't mind if I do. It's his third goal of the year. Solid strike, catches the ball clean the entire way, super true. And then the big guy, Lucky Kasana, talked about him at the top of the broadcast, how he needed to stay in contact with the squad and help find the back of the net. His team has only been shut out once in the previous 14 games. He had only netted 2 and 6, make it 3 and 7.
And then this would be the final nail in the Bethlehem coffin. Paolo Jr. after another mistake at the back from Bethlehem. Just a little touch through from Aaron Dennis. Both he and Paolo would finish with a goal and an assist. And McGuire did get a touch to it, but it wasn't enough.
It's the back line of Bethlehem Steel. They need to stay in better communication with each other, especially when you've got the three guys roaming up top. Mahoney and Aubrey started to slide up. Chalula tried to hold that high line, but unfortunately the good step up by Paolo Jr., and then it became the Pizer show. James Chambers, nice strike. We saw Fabian Herbers with the header. Sinti Moar would get in on action as well, but Ramu Pizer had no problem whatsoever dealing with the task at hand, keeping them out of the back of the net.
And here's a look at the live standings. Bethlehem will have to stay at 42 points. Meanwhile, Penn FC jump up to 32, and they're now nipping at the heels of North Carolina FC and the Ottawa Fury. Good news is for Penn FC, they just took down Nikola Popovic's side, and they set themselves up pretty good to make a late season push.
Very much so, especially with the opponents that are in front of them. It's very manageable coming down the stretch, especially the next 4 games. They have a great opportunity to go out and get results against squads that you should, at this point in the season with the talent you have, expect them to win. Now, they haven't been able to do it in the past, but this should give them momentum to help build on that.
It's now 6 straight points for the Pennsylvania Football Club as they take down in-state rivals Bethlehem Steel. It started out bleak for Raul Vaz's side, but they were able to respond. 3 unanswered goals for our outstanding crew. My broadcast partner, Devin Kerr. I'm Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. The final score, Penn FC 3, Bethlehem Steel FC 1. We'll talk to you soon, folks.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.